Hey, what's going on guys? John here. Today we're going to be going over the This Week at Bungie for October 8th, 2020. But before we jumped into this action-packed twab, I'd appreciate if you go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you like to keep up to date on all Destiny 2 news, information, tutorials, and leaks. But anyways, let's jump into it. This week at Bungie, we've got a sweet tooth for loot. And yeah, if you guys are not aware, the Festival of the Lost actually kicked off this week on Tuesday. And also there is a brand new exotic gear and weapons trailer that launched on, I think it was Wednesday. And I did make 2 videos covering both of these pieces of information. So if you'd like to check out those videos, I'll have links in the description down below. So starting off with the real first part of TWAB, we have new light updates for Beyond the Light. Over the past year, there's been a lot of great feedback about the new player experience in Destiny 2. Currently, players are given a single mission, become acquainted with some of the basic gameplay, and then let loose in the tower without much direction on where to go and what to do next. And so because of that format, this led to some confusion as many players didn't know where to start. Like, who's that robot meticulously cleaning an auto rifle? What do I do with these engrams? And what's a Zavala? The team has been working to restructure the on-ramp for Destiny 2, and today we'll be giving a small glimpse into the new light experience. And I personally haven't made a new character since Shadowkeep. I'm not the type to delete and make new characters, but from what I've seen and heard other people who made new characters or just joined the game, it's really hard for people to get into the game because there's so much to do on screen at once you complete that first mission. So hopefully this will help flesh out the new player experience. Starting November 10th, players will start in the same way that most all of us have. A ghost will be on the hunt for their guardian, they'll summon upon you, and they'll revive you for the first time. What's different now is that you won't immediately find a ship, rather you'll summon to another guardian in the wild. Shahan is his name, and he's on a mission with his fire team to investigate what the Hive are up to in the Cosmodrome. He'll show you the ropes and help you find your way among the gameplay and systems of Destiny 2. And I know we've been talking a lot lately about Uldren and the Cosmodrome and everything, theories about that. Personally, I don't think this is Uldren, but there is a lot of evidence leading that this could be Uldren. Honestly, the main reason why I don't believe in this is because Uldren is a brand new and not very experienced and scared guardian, and so having them in this dude's fire team actually makes a lot of sense. But he is wearing a very mysterious helmet and might be wearing Last Wish boots along with young Ahamkar's spine, and that very much points to the Dreaming City aesthetic, which is where he came from. But anyways, moving on, as a new player you'll spend your first few missions getting acquainted with the state of the world of Destiny 2. You'll have the opportunity to take a few weapons out for a spin, find engrams, try different armor, and see our progression systems, and have some time to learn how to navigate the user interface to understand quests, bounties, collections, and more. All this will happen before you set foot in the tower, and our hope is that this refreshed new light experience will give a much warmer welcome to Guardians as they play Destiny 2 for the first time. With the Cosmodrome coming out of the Destiny content vault, this gave us the perfect opportunity to overhaul the new light player experience. For veteran players out there, this will be a stroll through memory lane. While the Plaguelands are strictly quarantined per Vanguard orders, you'll still be able to explore much of what you remember from the first days as a Guardian. Running through the Moth Yards to collect spin metal, heading down the stairs of the steps to face off against powerful Hive Knights, and more. There will be occasional moments of discovery like stumbling upon a lost sector you haven't seen before. If you're an existing player and like to go through the new light quest, it'll also be available to you on November 10th. And Bungie, I hope there is a lost sector at the loot cave. That would be a pretty funny reference. And now to the next meaty part of the TWAB, which is the changes to mods for armor. We're a little over a month out from Beyond the Light, 33 days to be precise. We have quite a bit to cover between now and then, from sandbox updates to how your various economies will be updated. Sandbox is always a hot topic of discussion, and today we'll be diving a bit deeper into the ways you can customize your gameplay experience through armor mods. Armor mods are used to elevate your reload speeds, ability regen, and more to higher levels. In November, some of the mods you commonly use are being tuned. Some mods will be buffed, others will be removed altogether. Here we're going to dive into a patch note preview of sorts with snippets of developer commentary from the development team throughout. And looking at this, since there's a lot of words, I'm probably just going to go over the main changes and talk about them rather than go over all the developer commentary and everything. So the first change on the chopping block here is energy type requirements. All of the weapon-oriented armor mods, like hand cannon loaders, fusion rifle ammo finders, etc. have been changed to be any energy type. And as a result from the above change, all arc charge of light mods now activate their secondary perk if you have any other arc mod equipped on the same piece of armor, or if you have any other arc charge with light mod socketed in any other armor piece that you're wearing. And honestly, I don't really care for this change that much, and that's just mainly from the fact that I've already gotten used to the current system, but regardless, this is still a welcome change. Next up is enhanced mod rebalancing. All mods that have an enhanced version of that mod have had the base mod's efficiency increased to match that of the enhanced version of the mod. As a result, those enhanced mods have been deprecated and the base mod's energy costs have been adjusted upward slightly. And because of this, some mods have moved to different slots to create more competition for mod sockets across armor pieces. For example, the fast ready mods have been moved to the arm socket. And overall, I like this change a lot because currently I only use really enhanced mods. I never really see the point in the base version. The base version of most mods are so just negligible, I just don't even bother to put them on most of the time, so this is a good change. Oh boy, next up we got raid mods. Starting in Season 12, the Last Wish, Garden of Salvation, and the upcoming Beyond Light raid armors will now drop with a 5th dedicated armor mod socket that is exclusively for the mods related to that raid. Last Wish and Garden of Salvation armor acquired prior to Season 12 will not have this dedicated armor socket, but will still be able to use the mods related to that raid in the new Legacy armor mod slot. And as a result, anti-taken mods from the Last Wish will only function in Last Wish, anti-hide mods from the Leviathan will be deprecated, and the anti-fallen mods from Scourge of the Past will also be deprecated. And honestly, you either love or you hate this change. First, let's talk about the 5th mod slot. Honestly, this is a good addition that I've been wanting for a really long time, so good job Bungie. But the fact that it's not retroactive does sting pretty damn hard, as I've already been the hell and back grinding the absolute shit out of a raid like Garden of Salvation or Last Wish, and I already have pretty good armor out of this, so having to grind out my armor again, And when it comes to them basically making the anti-hide and fallen mods no longer usable, and the anti-taken mods only function in Last Wish, I actually agree with this change a lot, and it's personally because these mods feel extremely powerful, and the fact that you're able to use them in any place in the game when they're supposed to be balanced around the raid just makes other parts of the game really easy. For example, some of the solo dungeons become really easy when you have these mods. Also, hopefully this will help out with Gambit a lot, because getting invaded 20 times with Truth because the enemy team happens to have full Last Wish armor with anti-taken mods really makes Gambit not fun. With that, we come to the final section in this, which is combat mods. All armor released in Beyond Light and Season 12, all Last Wish and Garden of Salvation armor acquired starting in Season 12, and all Armor 2.0 exotic armor pieces, including those already possessed by players, will have combat style mod sockets. In Season 12, this socket will accept all Charge of Light and War Mindcell mods. All Armor 2.0 armor acquired during Seasons 8 to 11 have had their seasonal mod sockets replaced with a single unified Legacy mod socket that can socket all Charge of Light mods, all War Mindcell mods, and all Nightmare Hunt mods, and all Garden of Salvation mods and Last Wish mods. And overall, I like this change a lot because this will cut down on the amount of armor sets I actually need. And also having the ability to slot a Charge of Light or War Mindcell mod into a exotic piece of armor is absolutely amazing. Because right now, in a lot of situations, I find myself taking a legendary piece of armor over an exotic piece of armor. That's simply just because it does not have a Charge of Light mod socket, and so it doesn't really fit my build that well. Although the fact that they're making the exotic armor pieces retroactive and the current raid armor not retroactive when it comes to adding the 5th mod slot to the raid armor, this is very questionable, but it'll end up adding a lot of replayability, I guess, to the old raids. And that pretty much does it for the mod changes. And moving on, there's going to be a Festival of the Lost themed art show and Festival of the Lost fashion show. With the art show here, they state that they're not going to be too strict on it, but they would like to see some spooky takes on the World of Destiny in your pieces. And when it comes to the fashion show, they do state that you do have to be wearing a mask in order to be eligible to enter. And moving on, we got some reports from the player support team. First up is a reminder for the Season of Rivals title. The Cradle encounter is on weekly rotation, and it is possible to miss an encounter before the end of the season, so make sure you take care of that if you haven't already. Then, the next part is in regards to Beyond Light and the end of the current season. In order to prepare for Beyond Light and the upcoming season on November 10th, they'll have to take down Destiny 2 the day prior, November 9th, at 7 PM PST. And the game will remain offline till 9 AM PST on November 10th. And as a result of the closing of the season, the following will disappear at 7 PM PST on November 9th. The Prophecy Dungeon, the Ruinous Effigy Quest, the Traveler's Chosen Quest, the Seed of Silver Wings artifact, as well as your player power increase from said artifact, and any unopened Umbral engrams. They then go on to note in regards to PC migration from Battle.net to Steam that this will no longer be available starting on December 1st of 2020, so if you haven't done that already, make sure you do that before December 1st. And last week we have some currently known issues. They are aware of an issue where the candy collected emblem tracker isn't tracking 2020 candy. They are also investigating an issue where Eris Morn's dialogue and subtitles are not appearing for the Korean players. And they're also investigating an issue where the cipher decoders are not dropping often for players. They are also aware of an issue where the Masquerader's helmet has an inconsistent power level when acquired from Eva. And they're also aware of an issue where gear can sometimes drop at 750 power from the Haunted Forest chest. And with that out of the way, this brings us to the movies of the week, which if you like to view as always, they'll be in the twab, which is always linked in the description down below. And before we close out the twab here, DMG4 at the end here actually notes that next week's twab, we are going to get a preview of the launch time of the raid. So if you're looking to participate in the raid race this year, go ahead and make sure you check that out when I drop the video next week. But before we close out this video, I got 3 little things to cover real quick. First up, one of the directors for Vidocs at Bungie actually tweeted out that they just got finished recording a Vidoc. When this comes, I have no clue. This could be a Beyond Light Vidoc, or it could be a future season Vidoc. We have no clue. And the next piece of information is Bungie did apparently buff the cipher decoder drop rates. I will say earlier today, prior to recording this video, I did try it out a little, and it did seem like I was getting more cipher decoders to drop, but I still stand that it's way too stingy in its current form. And finally, they have fixed an exploit that allowed people to farm various currencies from the Spire Stars raid. If you don't know, there was a glitch involving the final checkpoint of Spire Stars, which allowed you to get a bunch of the Chocolate Strange coins and cipher decoders super fast. So to anyone who is using that as the main way to farm, if you need a new way to farm, I guess you could check out my Festival of the Lost video on how I was doing it, because it actually works pretty well. Anyways, that's pretty much the end of the video. This was John. If you liked, go ahead and give a like. If you'd like to see me outside of videos, I also have a Twitter where I talk about non-Destiny things, and I have a twitch.tv where I play non-Destiny games. Both will be linked in the description down below. But anyways, this was John, and I'll see ya in the next one. Peace.